The circle is considered the perfect shape by virtue of its symmetry. It's often used to represent totality, wholeness, infinity, eternity, timelessness, cyclic movement, and the divine life force. Life is a series of renewals. Within every beginning is an end, just as every end has a new beginning. The Wheel of Fortune brings us full circle. In the language of mathematics, the number 10 is the completion of one cycle. The number 1 is a beginning. However, as we saw with the Fool, the potential for all things resides in 0. Therefore, this card is an opportunity that holds a new potential. So let's see what the Wheel of Fortune is trying to show us. There are 3 characters riding the outside of the wheel in a counterclockwise rotation. But please keep in mind that direction is a guided perspective. This wheel has 3 sections. The inner section shows 8 spokes within a circle. Ritual magicians will recognize this symbol as the chaos sphere. It represents the axiom that belief has the power to structure reality. Next, we see the alchemical alphabet of desire. First, there is the cathartic release which creates a state of ecstasy. This condition will create a hyper-suggestibility because of the vacuous state of the mind. At this stage, the earthly form will turn in on itself and be easily directed and controlled. The 4th symbol is ambiguous. However, it is widely recognized as Aquarius. The outer ring of the wheel shows us the letters T-O-R-A and the divine name YHVH that follows the counterclockwise direction of the characters riding the outside of the wheel. When these letters are read clockwise, the word tarot, T-A-R-O, is visible, but the divine name, YHVH, remains the same. The Torah is the Hebrew scriptures that contain God's law. However, this inscription seems to be suggesting that God's law is also hidden within the tarot cards. Remember, there are 22 letters of the Hebrew alphabet, just as there are 22 cards of the major arcana. To some people, this would conclude that destiny is predetermined. The major arcana shows us that this is not necessarily so. Now, who are these 3 figures that ride the spin of the wheel? A sphinx sits at the top of the wheel holding a sword. With the body of a lion and a human face, the sphinx is a solar symbol that represents the duality of death and resurrection, but it also infers an appointed royal power, one that is also a protector of the secrets hidden beyond the temple doors. Typhon, dressed in his snake persona, is the youngest of Gaia's children. He represents geothermal activity such as volcanic eruptions, earthquakes, and cyclonic weather activity. Hermanubis is a combination of Hermes the messenger and the jackal-headed Egyptian god Anubis, the judge of the dead. Hermanubis is the conductor of souls who is also engaged in the investigation of truth. In each corner of the card sits a different winged figure that some of you may recognize from the Bible in Ezekiel's vision. These figures also show up in the book of Revelation. These characters correspond to astrological stages of the year, earthly elements, and especially dynastic ages. There is some discrepancy here because there are traditions that ascribe the element of water to Aquarius because he is the water bearer, while ascribing the element of air to Scorpio the scorpion, because Scorpio is sometimes represented as an eagle or a plumed phoenix. There may be an astronomical miscalculation in the old records, or some esoteric secret attached to this deliberate confusion. The question will be left for the student to deliberate. The Wheel of Fortune is a card of crisis. In a reading, there's a dramatic challenge about to manifest in your life. The only way to determine how your crisis will present itself is to evaluate where your cycle is currently positioned on the wheel. If things have been going smoothly and positively, then you're about to face some negative turbulence. If your life is adversely frustrating, then there may be an advantageous opportunity on the horizon that can make things better for you. Keep in mind that your life is what you make of it. Blame is not a resolution. The purpose of divination, in general, is to provide a warning or a confirmation that can help the observer make preparations to avoid catastrophe, recognize opportunities, or simply to encourage confidence. So consider making lemonade when life gives you lemons. A poor man will wallow in his misfortune, but an entrepreneur will find a way to turn his misfortune into personal gain. When the lemons run out, the poor man is left with nothing, while the entrepreneur seeks another opportunity from this setback. Which of these people would you rather be?